welcome to today's episode of the IELTS and TOEFL review series. I'm Diane, and today, for Level 8, Unit 3 lesson, we'll be discussing an important historical event, the fall of the Roman Empire. This event is often used as an example in both IELTS and TOEFL essays, especially when talking about history, economics, or military failures. We'll break down the decline of the Rome through economic failures and military defeats. We'll also explore key vocabulary, of course, give you some writing tips and sample essay to help you prepare for your exam. So, again, just a reminder, check out our video on our YouTube channel before our online review. I hope everyone has had a chance to watch it. For those who haven't, I'll include again the link below and share it on our social media pages as well. Alright, so let's get started. The article discusses the fall of the Roman Empire, which was caused by a combination of economic failures and military defeats. Economic struggles began with the excessive minting of coins, leading to deflation and the implementation of ineffective price control law. This caused many merchants to leave the cities, while then reducing tax revenue. Well, additionally, the empire's inability to fund a strong military left it vulnerable to invasions. The Roman army suffered significant defeats, especially against Germanic tribes. Then that leads to the eventual collapse of the Western Roman Empire. So, let's go and break down these key points. First off is economic failure. The Roman Empire's economic struggles began with an over-reliance on the minting of coins, which has then led to deflation. The government attempted, however, the price control, but these laws created economic imbalance. With this, merchants, they fled to the countryside. As a result, tax revenue plummeted, then further worsening the economy. So, that's what happens when we say economic failure in the Roman Empire. Second is military losses. The lack of economic resources, as we said during that time, to fund a strong army made the empire vulnerable. Rebellions broke out, and Germanic tribes invaded Roman territories. The fall of Rome was ultimately marked by a Germanic victory, leading to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. So, again, those are two key points, economic failure and the military losses. To further understand, let's dig into the key vocabulary and some key phrases. Let's take a look at this. You can use this in your essays and discussions about the fall of Rome. First word that we often hear about the topic, minting. Minting means the process of producing coins. So there was an over-minting. The excessive minting of coins led to inflation and economic instability in Rome. Minting. Second word, deflation. A deflation, it's a decrease in the general price level of goods and services. Sounds better, but this could really harm an economy. So, example, Roman economy suffered from deflation due to the oversupply of coins. Third word, rebellion. rebellion is an act of resistance or defiance against authority. The Roman Empire experienced widespread rebellion as people fought against their poor living conditions. That's rebellion. For our key phrase, we have the price control laws. These laws are government-imposed limits on the prices of goods. Example, price control laws set prices too low, which harmed merchants and tradespeople. And our last phrase, the Germanic tribes. So what are these? These are a group of people from the northern Europe who invaded the Roman Empire. The Germanic tribes played a key role in the fall of Rome by attacking its western territories. Okay, remember the words and try to use them as you can with your essays, discussions, or answers so that you'll be able to explain yourself better. Moving forward, next, these are the writing tips for the IELTS and TOEFL essay. I will show you first a sample prompt related to the topic, and let's figure out a good essay to answer it. Sample prompt. The fall of the Roman Empire was caused by a combination of economic problems and military losses. Discuss both factors and explain which you think was more important. Before you answer, remember, when writing about historical events like the fall of Rome, it's important to first, structure your essay clearly. How? Start with an intro, a good thesis statement, introduction that provides background, followed by your body of paragraph that explains causes, effect, or supporting your argument, and conclude by summarizing the main points. It's also important that you use linking words and phrases. This helps you to connect ideas smoothly. For example, furthermore, in addition, as a result, and such. Third, support your points with example. Whether you're discussing economic decline or military failure, provide specific examples to make your argument stronger. And fourth one, you should not forget, use a formal, academic tone. Avoid contractions and keep your language precise. So, let's repeat the prompt, and afterwards, I'll show you a sample intro. The fall of the Roman Empire was caused by a combination of economic problems and military losses. Discuss both factors and explain which you think was more important. Ready for your answer? Let's read. The fall of the Roman Empire is often considered one of the most significant events in world history. This decline was driven by a combination of economic difficulties and military defeats. While both factors played a crucial role, it can be argued that economic problems were the primary cause of the empire's collapse. Did you get the intro? This is just only your introduction and will be followed by the body of paragraph, which then you could support whether you are in for the economic difficulty or military defeat. Then you will have your supporting arguments. When you conclude, you have to summarize your main points. I hope you were able to make that essay clearer and better. Don't worry, we will be practicing more, so you gotta stay tuned. For the next part, we will go to the question and answer. Let's review 3 questions based on the article. I'll ask, and you may pause the video while you gather your thoughts and have your answer. Once you're ready, you may continue, and then we'll provide answers. Ready? Question 1. What were the main economic causes of the fall of the Roman Empire? Answer. The main economic causes included excessive minting of coins, ineffective price control law, and the flight of merchants to the rural areas. Did you get that? Okay, let's move to question number 2. How did military defeats contribute to the fall of Rome? Answer. Military defeats were significant because the Roman army weakened by lack of funds. Then they are unable to protect its borders. This vulnerability allowed Germanic tribes to invade and eventually sack the capital, Rome. Right? Okay, and the last question. Question 3. In your opinion, which was more important, economic failure or military losses? Answer. While both factors were important, economic failure was more critical because it directly weakened the Roman military, leaving the empire defenseless against invasions. I hope we have cleared things about the article and you were able to answer this correctly. If not, you could go ahead and review, watch the video again, and rerun the online review. Alright, that's all for today's episode. I hope you've learned how to break down the causes of the fall of the Roman Empire and how to use related vocabulary. And of course, your writing tips for your IELTS or TOEFL essay. Remember, strong essays balance well-organized arguments with clear and formal language. That's your key. Okay, keep practicing, keep striving for your success, and I'll see you again next time.